Who should win the Women's and Men's Royal Rumbles respectively? I'm going to start with the Women's Rumble because I have more of a solid pick for myself, and that pick is Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair has been an amazing addition to the women's roster in WWE since she came up from NXT. I truly believe that she can be at the level of Becky Lynch, if not further. I really think Bianca Belair as a person could reach Rock level popularity. She could literally, after a 10-year stint in WWE, maybe even less, go off and do loads of mainstream stuff. Kind of like Sasha Banks is doing right now, but even more. I really truly believe she could be Rock level for that company. Bianca's story has been really good since winning the title. Again, I don't like how she dropped the title. You can check out my thoughts on that here. I really don't think she should have dropped that title at SummerSlam, and if she did, not in the way she did. However, the way they've kind of redeemed her since then has been one of the few highlights of WWE from the past year. Truthfully, it's one of the good things they've done for long-term booking. They really built her, and it almost feels like an inevitability that she should win the Royal Rumble, although I did put money on Sasha Banks winning it last year, and she's injured, so I've lost that money. The one caveat, obviously, is that Ronda Rousey allegedly may be coming back for the Rumble. There are reports and rumours going around. If that's the case, I personally still believe it should be Bianca, but I understand Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch is the big box office mainstream event. It is the thing that will be pushed by external media sources. ESPN will give it a lot of time. Fox Sports News will give it a lot of time. I get it. That's gonna be the bigger thing. So, Bianca should win. I believe Bianca is gonna be the winner. Unless Ronda Rousey comes back, and then Ronda will probably win because Vincent Kennedy McMahon is, he's going to go for that short-term pop in popular viewership because hit Ronda, he's going to get some other celebrities involved at Mania. It's WrestleMania. It's not always what's the best thing for wrestling, it's the best thing for WWE's bottom line. On to the Men's Rumble. It's, in my opinion, a lot more complicated simply because you have Brock Lesnar now as WWE champion because of what happened with COVID and Roman Reigns, and then you got Roman, and the story felt like an inevitability that it would be Brock going to face Roman for the Universal title at WrestleMania, and I do still think that's going to be the inevitability, but how do you work that out if they're both champions, other than doing title versus title? And if you do title versus title, that becomes a political thing when it comes to Fox and NBC Universal, and they're both going to want a strong champion, but if one of them becomes champion, does that mean Brock or Roman go back and forth between the two shows? It's a little bit confusing, I'll be honest, because my idea would have been Brock drops the title to Lashley, and then someone who wins the Rumble will face Lashley. But I really don't know if they want to make Brock lose a match prior to facing Roman, and I think Roman will beat him at WrestleMania. But now I don't know how you're going to make Brock drop the title, because if you want Brock to be strong against Roman at WrestleMania, you don't want Brock losing any matches in the lead up to WrestleMania, but then you don't want both titles on one person because that's confusing and also might not be great for the two companies, and I don't know. But ignoring all of that, let's go with the idea that Big E is going to win the Royal Rumble, because we're going to say Bobby Lashley beats Brock Lesnar, and he beats Brock Lesnar because of interference from the Usos and Roman. That motivates Brock Lesnar to chase Roman Reigns. Maybe they put him in the Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia, and that's a title shot for the Universal title. Who knows? And so Big E will win the Royal Rumble, and he'll go on to face Bobby Lashley. It kind of feels like I've spoken more about Brock than Big E, but it's kind of just because the situation is so confusing. I would have assumed Big E would have held the title until Mania, and then the person who wins the Rumble would face Big E. Because the Roman Brock thing, it's already there. You don't need Brock to win the Rumble to face Roman. So, Big E wins, then it becomes a redemption story for Big E. He's the babyface, he's chasing Lashley to try and win that title back, and then you get a really big pop at WrestleMania with him beating Lashley for the title, and also you give Lashley another title run, because Bobby Lashley deserves all the title runs, because he's fantastic, so is Big E. Hopefully, if you give Big E the title at WrestleMania, you get a fresh start, because, let's be honest, the way they treated Big E as champion was very underwhelming. Big E should have really been treated a lot better. So yeah, those are my two winners. Bianca Belair, which I think might be for 2 years in a row, and then Big E. I was going to say Bobby Lashley. Big E. Again, the Bianca one might be ruined. If Ronda comes back, then Ronda will win. The Big E one is just really confusing because of the Lashley and Brock match. I don't know what's going to happen there, because if Lashley wins, maybe Brock will put himself in the Rumble, because WWE will think, well, we need to justify Brock Lesnar going after Roman when you don't need to do that, but I don't know, and it's very confusing, and I don't understand what Vince is doing, and I don't understand how this man at 70 plus years old knows what he's doing, and I'm just like, who's going to win the Royal Rumble? Let's find out this weekend. This Saturday we'll find out. Hey, follow me on Twitter, because I'll be live tweeting the Rumble, because I love live tweeting the pay-per-views. It's really fun, and remember to like, subscribe, share the video with a friend and family, and hey, I hope you watch some great wrestling today.